Hello and welcome to Andy's Little Sci-Fi Horror Show. My name's Andy and this is my little window to the rest of the world. Speak your piece.
My piece.
Yes?
My piece is... Oh yes, vampire movies. The vampire genre has been changed and rearranged over the last 50 or some odd years. Most notably in the first appearance of any real Dracula type character, Nosferatu. Number one, first appearance of any vampire.
Well, there was some before, but I mean, you're not talking mainstream, at least semi-mainstream. Watch out.
Yeah, I see him. He's being a jackass. There were other versions of vampires, but the thing about back in that time period is that Bram Stoker's family held the rights to a lot of to Dracula. And they were very, 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 they actually sued the makers of Nosferatu.
Unsuccessfully.
But they still went after as many people as they possibly could, which made the fact that it didn't make very many vampires. Most notably, the most popular and most famous vampire movie of all time is, of course, Bela Lugosi in Dracula.
I am Dracula.
Dracula.
He doesn't talk like that. It's like an outpatient.
I'm Dracula.
I'm Dracula.
Which was a very good movie, although the other thing about it is that at the same time...
The Spanish version
was being shot.
What they would do, as the Spanish film crew would film after the American crew, they would see what the Americans did, and then they would one up every shot.
That's right.
The Spanish one it's better in a lot of ways, but the American version will always, be number one.
Well, yeah, that's
in the hearts of most people. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the truth. And I actually had the Spanish version of Dracula, which I thought was pretty good. Of course, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to know Spanish to understand it.
Yeah.
Except for soy Dracula, which means I'm Dracula. There's just Spanish lesson for you. Who knew? But they made a lot. Yeah.
His deeds are legend.
He's the first one to kill a vampire in over 100 years.
His courage is unmatched.
How do I kill him?
No one knows how to kill Dracula.
His name is Van Helsing.
Holy water, crucifix. Why can't I have one of those?
Adventure has a new name.
Oh my God.
Van Helsing, now on DVD and video.
They made a lot of vampire movies after that because, of course...
The best Dracula since then, though, is Bram Stoker's Dracula. Gary Oldman was a wonderful
Anthony Hopkins was in it.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins was great as Van Helsing. His character doesn't even know how to... censor himself, and everybody's like, oh my god, then who's the girl in there?
Yeah, Winona Ryder.
Yeah, Winona Ryder was in the movie, and she played the love interest, and it was just an interesting movie, and they did a good job.
It was wonderfully artistically over the top. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Francis Ford Coppola directed.
No CGI, just all old school tricks, reverse camera,
Yeah.
reverse film, all that stuff.
I think that if you take a look at that was pretty much the height of horror effects in Hollywood at the time.
Well, no, the films were saturated with CGI at that time.
Oh.
Very little computer-generated images.
Well, that was when CGI still sucked. You know, the best CGI film at the time was The Last Starfighter, I think. And, well, we all know how that looked. It didn't really look real. It looked like a video game from the Atari. And I mean, not even video games in the Atari 2600 looked that bad, I don't think. But, I digress. You know, I think, but as it grew, the whole vampire legend grew. They kind of disappeared for a little while, and then of course, you know, for whatever reason, the vampire has kind of transformed today
Too sexy.
to a, well, it was always a sexual character.
No, actually it wasn't. The old peasants in old New England and the old vampires were hideous monsters with multiple fangs. They came out of the ground to eat children. Bela Lugosi made it sexy.
The other thing about it is that now it's like soap opera-ish, you know.
I think we need to, you know, the new stuff. We gotta tone it down. We need to go. If we're gonna do vampires, we need to do it the Anne Rice way.
Oh,
Anne Rice did the
Interview with the Vampire.
That was about as mainstream and poppy as vampires should ever get.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about the vampire today is we have like books like Twilight. And, well, let's be honest here. Twilight is not exactly the book series that you'd want to have representing vampire lore. It's not exactly your top of the list.
I've never read it, and I haven't seen the movie, so I have no comment on the subject. But I hear that the vampires glisten in the sun.
Yeah, they glisten in the sun. They basically, looks like they dumped a whole bucket of glitter on them. And it's just, you know...
Damn, that's sexy.
I don't get it. I just don't. Like, now, True Blood is a great show. True Blood is a great show. Because it's got great writing.
You ever gonna park?
Yeah, we're gonna park. We're gonna park right here.
Alright, thank you.
Here we go. We're parked.
We just did a
We're parked,
complete
ladies and gentlemen.
360 degrees
Here,
around the place.
we are parked.
Yeah, we were here.
We are parked.
We were here about a minute ago before we were around the entire
Well, I
building.
wasn't sure where I wanted to park, but I wanted to park here. So this is where we're parked.
You wanted to park here so you could get a good look at the window. See them sexy beasts.
Oh my gosh, don't tell me the fucking Twilight things are here. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Christ! Son of a bitch! Ah! I can't escape him! I can't! He just won't leave me!